Hello, it's me Rashmi Casey. Today I'll be talking to you about system management theory. Systems theory has a long history in the realm of human knowledge. Some scholars trace the development of systems theory back to Aristotle. Most scholars attribute the idea of holism central to systems thinking to the German philosopher Hegel, who stated that the whole was greater than the sums of its parts. However, the modern system approach was settled in the late 1960s. Herbert A. Simon is considered the father of system theory. The systems management theory believes that a system is a collection of parts brought together to accomplish some end goal or objective. All pieces go together, and while it can indeed function, if one part is taken out, the functionality is impaired and the system itself has changed. In the systems approach, attention is paid towards the overall effectiveness of the system rather than the effectiveness of the subsystems. The idea of systems can be applied to an organizational level. In applying systems concepts, organizations are taken into account and not only the objectives and performance of the different departments or subsystems. What I mean is, if we have systems and they work, we can reproduce them all over the world, okay, with some modifications. Take McDonald's for example. While the food in other countries might be different, there are no hamburgers at McDonald's in India. The system to get the food is the same. Walk up, look at the menu on the board, order combo meal number 4, and you're on your way. McDonald's is only one example. There are many more, such as Starbucks, Walmart, and boarding an aeroplane. The list goes on and on. Traditional organization theorists regarded organizations as closed system, while modern view is to treat it as an open system, having constant interaction with its environment. So let's look at the two type systems. First, open system. The open systems approach comes from biology. It was proposed in the 1940s by the biologist Ludwig von Bentalaffi. Later, Kaz and Kahn first applied the open system approach. This approach identifies organizational behavior by mapping the repeated cycles of input, throughput, output, and feedback between an organization and its external environment. Systems receive input from the environment either as information or in the form of resources. The systems then process the input internally, which is called throughput, and release outputs into the environment in an attempt to restore equilibrium to the environment. The systems then seek feedback to determine if the output was effective in restoring equilibrium. As can be seen, the systems approach focuses on the means used to maintain organizational survival and emphasize long-term goals rather than the short-term goals of the goal attainment approach. Second, closed system. Closed system came out of classical physics. Norbert Wiener and Rose Ashby, who developed its modern version called cybernetics. Closed systems are closed off from the outside environment, and all interactions and knowledge is transmitted within the closed systems only. Closed system can hamper growth since the flow of information stays within the system and has no chance to interact with or build on knowledge from the outer environment. The contributors of this theory include Herbert A. Simon, Ludwig von Bantalanffy, Kenneth Boulding, Lawrence J. Henderson, W. G. Scott, Daniel Kahrs, Robert L. Kahn, Richard A. Johnson, Walter Frederick Buckley, and J. D. Thomson. System theory, however, is not without some shortcomings. 1. Critics of this theory claim this as a theoretical approach to management. The way an organization actually works and solves problems by applying different techniques and methods has no appeal in the theory. 2. Relationship amongst parts of the organization is emphasized open, but the exact nature of interdependence is not defined. 3. Exact relationship between internal and external environment of the organization is also not defined. For example, it specifies that change in economic policies necessitates change in internal policies of the organization. But what changes are required to match the changes in economic environment is not talked about. 4. System approach fails to provide uniform approach to management. Management practices change with changes in environmental variables. No standard set of principles applies to all types of organizations. 5. It fails to provide concepts that apply to all types of organizations. The small organizations are less adaptive to environmental variables than large organizations. The theory assumes that most of the organizations are big, complex, and open systems. It thus fails to provide a unified theory. In a nutshell, organizational management system consists of many internal subsystems that need to be continually aligned with each other. As companies grow, they develop more and more complex subsystems that must coordinate with each other in the process of transforming inputs to outputs. These interdependencies can easily become so complex that a minor event in one subsystem may amplify into serious unintended consequences elsewhere in the organizations. So, system theory of management in modern day organizations foster additional management knowledge to the business world, thereby increasing the survivability and profitability ratios of these organizations. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please like and subscribe it.